everyone, it's Mary. It's been a while, and I feel like this is my intro, my real intro to every video that I upload lately. It's been a while, but you know what? I've thought about starting over, just a different channel, just because I feel like I've been on this platform for ages, but I feel like an old new booktuber. I've been on booktube since 2015, which is a lot of time, and I've never been consistent with videos or you know, with reading, even because a lot of things happen during well, I'm sure everyone has a very, you know, full life full of things that happen that are challenging, that are different from the norm, but it's just what happened to me in this, you know, past 5 years or so. They're not 5, they are, we're almost in 2020. But anyway, I thought that, you know what, I like my channel even though it's not consistent, as my life is. So I'll pop in with videos every time that I can, which is not very often, since having a, you know, especially because I have a toddler and I feel like it's very challenging to just sit down and have some time, some quiet time in which I can actually talk to you guys about the books that I'm reading. Even though I have been reading mostly parenting books or books about education, but still I have been reading. So I plan to, I have a video filmed that I think it's a July or August wrap up, so very old, but you know what, reviews about books do not expire, so I feel like my thoughts, I still want to share my thoughts on the books that I read in that instance. So I'm gonna upload that at some point, but I thought, you know, I thought I'd come at you with a more a sort of at the moment videos, so that I could chat to you guys about what I'm currently reading, what my rough plans are for 2020, and just what I've been up to. So as I said, I'm gonna upload that video that I filmed ages ago, and then I have a stack of books that I read afterwards that I never, you know, spoken about anywhere. And I'm possibly before the end of the year, not making any promises here, but I just want to tackle those books, just gather my thoughts, because it's been a while since I read them, and just film a video for you guys that it's, you know, a more in-depth kind of, you know, review of the books that I read, because if I had to talk about them right now, I wouldn't know what to say, because it's been so long since I read them. And I have, let me show you, this stack of books, okay, that I've read since the summer, and I really want to talk about them. So at some point, I'm just gonna film a wrap-up. But for now, I have a schedule somewhere of the things that I wanted to talk about in this video. But once I'll get my life together, I feel like my channel will gain consistency. For now, you know, it is what it is, and I'm glad that there are still people that are interested in what I'm doing and what I'm reading. And yeah, thank you guys. You're lovely, and the people that always comment on you know, on my videos. I love to chat about books, you know, so it's the main reason why I started a channel in the first place. I'll gain consistency. I'll do that once I get my life together, which at the moment is really not. But anyway, also I have acquired a lot of books that I filmed like a partial haul at some point, but I thought that video is not just going to be uploaded, and possibly let me know if you're interested in the books that I've been acquiring. I probably will post, I could upload a haul maybe at the beginning of the year, next year, just to, you know, have a real kickstart to 2020. But I don't know. I thought I'd just talk to you about the books that I'm currently reading right now, which are 3. And so, firstly, I have written on my own heart's blood by Diana Gabaldon. This is the 8th book in the Outlander series, and I have been reading this book for basically 2 years. It's, you know, it's a huge one, but it's not the reason why it's taking me so long. The reason is that I liked the first Outlander. Actually, I loved it so much. And this is a case in which I've seen the TV show first, and I remember it was airing at the moment, so I think it was 2015 possibly, or 2014, maybe the end of 2014. Anyway, I was in a kind of a reading slump actually, and I was watching this TV show, not really expecting anything from it, and then I remember it stopped like mid-season 1, and I was like, what? I need to know what's gonna happen. And I realized it was a book. And I read the first Outlander book, and it was amazing. I loved it. And I bought all the books in the series. This one is the last one, or it was the last one, but the author decided to write another one. That's at least what I'm hearing about Outlander. But yeah, so since the 4th book on, this series was not that fun. Every book was kind of a struggle to get through. Yeah, it had some bonus points, some good parts, but for being that big, and every book in the series is very big, I just, yeah, it's dragging so much, and I'm so sad because I loved it, and I still have some sort of attachment to the characters and the story, so that's why I keep on reading, and that's why I'm not gonna DNF this one. Not after reading 8 books on this series. I'm not gonna DNF this one. I'm just gonna power through, finish this book, and then I can let myself pick up a new series, because that's what I was saying to me all the time that I was reading this. I cannot pick up another series until I finish Outlander. Just those rules that I make for myself. But I'm gonna finish this one, and then I'm gonna move on, hopefully, to another series. So I'm reading this. Then I'm reading, I'm doing a buddy read again. You guys know how bad I am with buddy reads, but my buddies are the best. So I'm reading with Yamini over at A Skeptical Reader and Natalie over at A Curious Reader. They're amazing. It's a very chilled out kind of buddy read. We did a buddy read together last year, and it was all over the place, and it was entirely my fault. We read The Lord of the Rings, but it was a lovely experience, so we decided that we want to keep on reading Tolkien and read together the Silmarillion, which is a book that I never read actually, even though I had it on my shelves since basically since having The Lord of the Rings. Not this particular edition, I had it in Italian, but I'm reading this in the original language, of course, now. I was very young when I acquired the Silmarillion first, and I remember trying to read the first chapter, and I was like, whoa, it went way over my head, and I was like, okay, I love The Lord of the Rings, I don't want my love to be tainted, so I'm just gonna put it aside for when I'm older. That's basically what I thought. But I was like 13, so it makes sense. But anyway, this is very dense and very packed with information, a lot of names, just typical Tolkien, I would say. But I'm really enjoying the experience, even though I'm of course behind, and I read only the introduction and the first 2 kind of short stories before the actual Silmarillion starts. But we're kind of doing a very in-depth read of this one, and I'm very much enjoying where we're going with this buddy read. So we're reading this one, and then I picked up a book, and here goes the tangent. But anyway, it's I'll Be Gone in the Dark by Michelle McNamara, and this book made me think a lot. Just not for the reasons that you're thinking of, because so this is of course a very well-known book, especially here in BookTube. It's a true crime book, and I'm not a true crime reader. I'm not a crime reader for the matter. I don't read crime fiction. It's just not something that sparks my interest for now. At least I don't know, what the future, what's gonna happen in the future. But for now, I'm not, a crime reader, and not a true crime reader for sure. I kicked in when everybody was reading it. I bought it because I was interested, I was curious. And I'm like 20 pages in, no, almost 30 pages in, and it made me think about who I am as a reader. And just now I am realizing, after 5 years on BookTube basically, that a lot of books that I have seen on BookTube, that I have put on my wish list, that I bought even, are not books that I would have bought normally. And I mean, don't get me wrong, because BookTube is the best thing that ever happened to me book-wise. Before BookTube, I would just browse, the libraries and the bookshops, just looking for things that sounded appealing to me. I was reading some blurbs, I was looking at the covers, thinking about, authors that I enjoyed already, and I didn't really have a lot of people that were reading that much as I was, that could, give me some advice or some suggestions on books. So it was just a bit random, my picks. They were random, and that meant that some books I did enjoy and some I didn't, which is normal, even if you know what you're looking for. Even if a lot of people tell you that a book is good, it could not be that good for you. But anyway, where am I going with this? On BookTube, I finally found a source, of people that shared interests with me, that I could, rely on their opinions. And it opened up so many possibilities that I was overwhelmed with this, with the possibilities that I had to actually find the greatest books for me. But that meant that I also decided that some books I wanted to try, even though they were not the books that, at their core were right for me, because that person said that it's a very good book. So possibly it's a very good book for me. But I kind of lost my focus on what I really enjoy book-wise, which doesn't mean that I couldn't enjoy, a crime book, because I don't read crime. So if somebody tells me that crime book is amazing, you should read it, even though you don't like crime, then I'd probably check that one out. But it's not my top, on my top priority list. So that's, one of my goals, if you want to call it that, for 2020, to just choose books. I feel like now I'm better at choosing books that I love now, after 5 years. But so I purged all my, my wish lists and my TBRs, and now I can finally say that all the books that I'm picking up are books that I really want to get to. Then, if I have time, if I don't know what to read, I could pick up a book that it sounds interesting, and maybe I'm gonna like it. First, I need to tackle the books that I really enjoy, that I know that at least I have the perception that I could really enjoy that one. Of course, I have bought some I unhauled, but I have bought some books that I still want to give a try to before unhauling them. But I'm just gonna approach them with a different kind of feeling, if that makes any sense. And this one actually falls in that category of books that are just not for me. It's not that it's not interesting, like in a objective kind of way, because of course it's an interesting topic, and everybody should know that this stuff happens. And I do know, like, if it was a documentary, I would probably have watched it on TV. But as a book, I don't feel like this one is right for me. I'm just a very anxious person, and this is creeping me out, and I don't need to read this. I don't think I need to read this. So I'm 30 pages in. I'm gonna give this 50 pages or so, and then decide if I want to put this down. And it's not, the book's fault. I'm sure it's a great book, but I don't feel like it's for me. So that was a very long tangent, but I hope that my thoughts came across clearly. Then, I don't have any, major plans for 2020. I just want to read books that I enjoy. That's the first thing. And that's why I'm not, entering too many book clubs or too many, I'm not doing too many challenges, which doesn't mean that I'm not doing them. Actually, I have already entered 2 of these things because I am in a book club. We still need to decide the name of the book club, but we're gonna pick a book every month or every 2 months, depending on the length of the book. We're gonna read diversely, so books about maybe translated books, non-fiction books. I'm really looking forward to this kind of experience, even though of course I'm gonna be very chilled about it, and if I don't know, if they're reading a book that I don't have an interest in, then I'm not gonna read that book. So I'm just gonna, you know, take it easy and just see what life is throwing at me for next year. One thing that I will do, it's a challenge that I'm very excited about, which is a challenge that was created by Natalie over at A Curious Reader. I'm gonna leave a link to her announcement video down below, and it is a curious adventure, and it's a challenge, a non-fiction challenge. So I've always been a fiction reader for my entire life. It's been since maybe joining BookTube that I've been reading more and more non-fiction, and my goal is to actually have, you know, 50-50. Because right now I'm reading, especially now that I'm reading about parenting and stuff and education, I'm reading a lot of nonfiction. So my goal for next year is to actually read more nonfiction, but less nonfiction about parenting and more about, you know, other topics that are interesting to me. So yeah, I just think that this challenge is the perfect challenge for me for next year. I'm looking forward to it and researching very hard on the books that I want to read for each month. So I'm just gonna possibly update you guys on the books that I'm gonna be reading, because I'm not setting for myself any sort of like definite TBR, but I really want to do this challenge. So of course I'm reading a book per month that has to do with this challenge. So yeah, and I'm still on the Daphne du Maurier project, which is a project of my own now, because, you know, I'm not following anybody or just yeah, the group or something. I'll just keep on reading all the books that she wrote in publication order. I'm very behind. I think the next on the list should be The Parasites. I'm not sure. Anyway, you know, that one is going on very slowly, but it's fine. I don't need to read a book a month of her, so I just keep on, just to let you guys know that I'm still on that kind of project as well. That's it, I think, for today. I spoke a lot. I spoke very quickly as well. Sorry. I hope you guys are having a wonderful December, and happy holidays to you all. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!